I'm Shuri. I've lived in Korea for 3 years, and sometimes life really does feel like a dream. Some seasons are full of color, joy, and movement, like everything is working out in my favor. Even the hard times feel like part of the plot, something I can easily overcome. Living here has been amazing. I've discovered more who I am, and I've fallen in love with this beautiful country. Some moments have felt like a fairy tale, free, inspired, alive. But not every season is like that. Right now, I'm in a slower, quieter season. Nothing dramatic, just meh. Did I ask for this season? No. But here it is. And even though I want to rush through it or pretend it doesn't exist, I'm learning that maybe that's not the way. I don't want to spend all my time dreaming of the future. Instead, I want to try romanticizing this season, to see it for what it is and find beauty in its stillness. I want to soften into the quiet, to find a magic in the mundane, to let this season be what it's trying to be. Calm, slow. So yes, happy-go-lucky, energetic, emotional Shuri is learning to lean into the calm. Let's find the beauty and magic in the season we didn't expect and maybe didn't want, but that came to us anyways. Let's start with the basics. Rest. Real, intentional rest. Sometimes the best thing your body and mind need is a nap. As someone who loves being productive, it's hard for me to stop and just sleep. But that's exactly what I've needed lately. My body and mind have been worn out, and giving myself permission to rest is the first step towards healing. Without it, I can't show up for my life fully. So, if you need it, this is your sign. Take a nap. I give you permission. Next, let's freshen up our living space. In this season, setting a 30-minute timer has worked really well for me. It gives me just enough structure to tidy up a bit without falling into perfectionism. Having a clean room helps clear up my thoughts too. When my surroundings are chaotic, my mind usually is too. But when I clean, just a little, I feel more grounded. So let's clean a little. Not for the sake of doing, but for the peace that follows. What we consume affects how we feel as well. I've noticed that when I watch heavy or negative content, even the things I usually enjoy, like true crime, it takes a toll on my mood. So lately, I've been choosing more optimistic and comforting things to watch and listen to. Slowly, I'm becoming more mindful of what feeds my soul and what drains it. And I'm leaning into the things that remind me of who I really am. Things that make my soul shine. Another thing I've been doing, dressing up just for me. Not for anyone else, just for my own happiness. This includes makeup, perfume, bows, and soft, pretty outfits. Lots of pink, of course. When I dress with intention, the whole day feels a little more magical. It's a way to connect with myself, to show up in the way I want to feel. And it definitely affects my mood throughout the day. I feel a lot more like a main character. It's very true. I've been using Pinterest these days to create vision boards for the now, not just future goals. Sweaters, books, soft skies, pastels. This helps me visually connect to the kind of magic I want to find in my everyday life. There's something about Pinterest. It just makes life a little more magical. So it's not always about chasing a dream far away. It's about finding joy right here. So I've been making my own board for this season of life, and it's been pretty magical, not gonna lie. It helps me to romanticize and view my life through a Pinterest board, which is pretty aesthetic if you ask me. If you're a visual person like me, this can be a simple, lovely way to start romanticizing your real life again, and not just dreaming about the future. Lately, I've been channeling my inner Elizabeth Bennet and taking long, aimless walks. No destination, just letting my thoughts wander. It's calming, grounding, and even a little romantic in its own way. Being in nature soothes the soul, everyone knows that, and for me, these walks often turn into a quiet prayer. Just talking to God while surrounded by trees or sky. It's either that or listening to music for me. This just clears space in my mind and helps me come back to myself. On tough days, I give myself one little thing to look forward to. Maybe it's a sweet treat, a favorite K-drama, a singing session at noraebang, or something as simple as just hot chocolate or a sheet mask. Whatever it is, I schedule that joy in like an appointment. And it really gives me something to hold on to, a moment of light in the middle of this hard. This tip has been golden for me when I'm going through a really hard day at work. I will just think of something to look forward to after work, and it really helps me stay grounded during the day and get through, especially the harder days. When you're ready, you can gently begin to plan again for the future. It doesn't have to be big or serious, just small dreams, small steps. Think about what you value and what you're hoping for. I feel like in these time periods of life, we can actually get a lot of inspiration for the future after taking a lot of time to rest and getting to know ourselves. So I feel like this step will come naturally for you. Recently I had a burst of inspiration and planning felt excited again. And I am a lot more excited about the future while still enjoying this present moment that I'm in. Well, I'm doing my best too. That's what this video is all about. Journaling is magic for the mind. My thoughts can be so loud and messy, and I tend to overthink a lot. But when I write all of my thoughts down, they slow down, they feel heard. And then I can see things more clearly on paper. I actually carry my journal everywhere with me these days, so I can write whenever I feel any sorts of thoughts, inspired, positive, negative, or anything in between. Journaling really helps me understand myself more and what I actually really am thinking about or really want in life. It's magic. Try it out. It's the best. I feel like these days, hobbies are making a comeback, and I absolutely love it. I endorse it 100%. They don't have to be productive. Like, these hobbies, are like unproductive hobbies in the sense that it's something you're doing that brings you joy just for the sake of joy. For me, that's reading or coloring. Nothing fancy, just simple, sweet fun. So all of this just brings me back to myself, and it's really fun to get lost in an aimless hobby. Sometimes a story is exactly what you need. Whether it's a book, a K-drama, or a movie, letting yourself step into another world can be incredibly healing. It gives your mind a break. It lifts you up gently. And I am absolutely in love with doing this during this season of life. Like, sometimes I'll start early mornings with a movie, just like a really positive one that brings me back to myself, or that I have really good memories with. I've been getting into reading again, which has been awesome for my screen time, or lack of screen time, and getting lost in the stories and really focusing on them is really fun. I feel like this compared to doom scrolling is not like avoiding your problems. It's more like emotional rest. And sometimes it's nice to get lost in something that isn't your own thoughts or thinking. It's nice to get out of yourself with it. For me, I would say one of the most powerful parts of this season has been reconnecting with God, especially in the slow or painful moments. I've been leaning on Him a lot more these days. I ask Him for peace, for clarity, for comfort. I even write Him letters sometimes when my mind is too distracted to pray. I did that once in a cafe. It was actually really cool. I even have ChatGPT sending me daily scripture verses and quotes to stay centered like every day. It's actually really cool. It's programmed now so that if I'm going through a hard time and I message ChatGPT, it's like, would you like a scripture? And I'm like, oh yeah, those exist. And it reminds me to connect with God. I've just been reminded recently that He's with me in the joy and in the quiet or meh times of life. And I've felt that peace that passeth all understanding and the joy that only He can give. With all that's being said, you watching this video, even watching this video, you might feel like I have my life all together, but I don't. This is literally a project to self-soothe because it's been a rough time. Like, it's been a really just meh time for me, and that's really hard for me to lean into, even though I want to move on to the next season of life. I too am trying my best to get through this season in a romanticized way. So no, this isn't a big exciting chapter of my life. It's not even that aesthetic, to be honest, but it's still a part of my story, a softer chapter, a quieter season, one that's asking me to slow down and see the beauty I normally try to rush past. You don't need a perfect life to feel magic in it. You just need small moments of intention and a whole lot of naps and rest. Romanticize the slow season. Give it a try. It might be exactly where you're meant to bloom.